Good evening, everybody. Asia Sky Media, Mikami and Dennis are here. Today we missed the political coffee in the morning because we study the Orange County Irvine Taiwanese but Presbyterian Church case. The shooting case all day. We're taking things apart, studying materials from both English and Chinese, different media, different texts on the case. Study a lot of people, their histories, the histories of the gunner, the history of the church, and the how it went, how it come and occur. And it is very saddening that Dr. John Chen sacrificed his life to. He had 3 bullets. He got shot 3 times, and he passed on the spot. And because of his sacrifice, he saved the church. He saved the rest of the people. And the former pastor who was talking that day, Reverend Billy Zhang, while the gun was jammed, and the Pastor Billy Zhang had a chance to throw a chair at him, and the gunman fell, and the parishioners, the church people, were able to jump on the gunner, just like the picture on my back. And we can see that this probably Reverend Billy Zhang, and this probably is the person on the floor, is
Dr. Chen.
Dr. Chen, yes. Yeah, and these churchgoer, they're elderly. They're the people who were injured are from the 60s to 90s, and these people, they're pressing the gunner down, head down, face down. I mean, so this picture was taken by the a person on the scene of the very moment, moment that the gunner was subdued. Okay, so many says it's a hate crime, and it is hate crime, but it is not the typical hate crime that we see on the news, or between two people of 2 countries or 2 races. The gunner and the people who are injured, the people in church, they're actually from Taiwan. Both sides are from Taiwan. So, but how come this is a hate crime? And a lot of the news are saying that this is it's politically charged, the hate, to cause this tragic accident.
Wait.
Huh?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you want to come in?
I thought you were going to say what you want to say, huh? So we for this he is going to be charged because he's
the gunner Cho Wen Wei, David Cho Wen Wei,
the gunner,
the gunman.
let's see, the gunner David, the gunner David. Okay,
Yeah, David
easier.
Cho. Yeah, David Cho.
The gunner David will be charged probably the first degree murder. There is like 1 count of first degree murder, 4 count of attempt murder, and then also
Is that 4, not 5? Attempted murder.
yeah, there's an attempted murder, or there's a 9mm handgun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And where's it? I forgot. Okay. And because he's a resident of Nevada,
Yeah.
and Nevada has a death penalty. Okay.
Okay.
We wish California has death penalty too.
Yeah, it's
And,
very weird
yeah.
that he drove all the way out here to.
Yeah, because
to
it's from
commit this.
Nevada, so he is. If go for a maximum, he will have a death penalty. And right now he holds
wow.
about $1 million
Bail.
and the intention, the motive, the intention, we not sure yet. They are still under investigation. But in the media, Taiwan media or Chinese community, we already kind of get an idea who this guy is.
Well, because there are a lot of telltale signs. I mean, of course, the final declaration is, we will say the authorities will have the final declaration of the case, but a lot of telltale signs, a lot of the pieces, right, put together, it's looks very much like it's politically charged. Especially it has very strong relation with the Chinese communist.
Yeah, and then why is it maybe a lot of people who may not from Chinese community may not know what's going on with like a Chinese
Taiwanese and
Hong
Hong Kong,
Kong,
and even more, there are Macau, Singaporean, and Malaysian. They're all Chinese.
Yeah.
So,
What the
even within mainland, you have the northeast, southwest, right, and the Uyghur and Tibetans. So, okay, even among just the mainland Chinese, the Taiwanese and Hong Kongers are complicated enough already. So
if we don't explain what's going on between all the Chinese stuff, people may not understand why it's a hate crime. Why is it a hate crime?
Or why is it politically
why is it politically charged?
Yeah.
Hate crime. Okay, so this is the
Well,
This is a Taiwan flag.
should we start from the case? Okay, but like
This is a Taiwan flag.
okay,
Okay. So we know this is Taiwan flag, or we call the real China.
the Republic of China.
Republic of China, real China.
So
And-
Republic of China is the official name of Taiwan. Taiwan is a location to differentiate the Taiwan, the island, from mainland China.
China.
And mainland China has been using the term Chinese after the year of 1949. So
after communism occupied.
before Americans have established the diplomacy with the communist China in 1979, Taiwan has always been called China.
Yep.
Has always been called China
And using this
by
word.
America, by Britain and the European countries all over the world, basically.
Yeah.
And
This is the China flag.
so
Before 14.
so we can say there are two Chinas. This is not wrong to say there are two Chinas. But that's the first China, the Taiwan Republic of China, is the
Original.
first China, original China.
This is the original.
And it has never stopped ruling or stopped its sovereign on the
By communists.
on the earth, right?
Yeah, and still
for a
here.
day, right?
Yeah.
So
And never ruled by,
this is the
Taiwan,
second China.
communists.
This is the second China.
Yeah.
This is we call it pseudo China. We call
Yeah.
it pseudo China, and they are because they're not inheriting the
Chinese culture.
our traditional Chinese culture, the
Modify everything.
the writing, the words, the characters, right? A lot of things they abolish the Chinese traditions. So
And then when people see this flag, maybe they don't know what's the star stand for, but the big star is the communists.
it's the party. It's the party.
The Communist Party.
Yes.
So that's why I call this Communist China. And people call this Communist China is absolutely correct. Even official China official, this Communist China, the official in China, they call themselves Communist China too. Okay, so it is official term and Communist CCP. Okay, or they call the other something else. But the big star. So when you see this flag, doesn't represent China. Mainly it represent the communists. It's communism. Okay, this socialist communism.
Okay.
So whatever they say is a lie. Okay. So
Yes.
so we got to distinguish. We got to distinguish between these two places, and there's two different culture. Real China culture, traditional Chinese culture,
right.
pseudo, fake Chinese culture.
Right.
So
Once-
people need to understand this.
Right,
Okay?
right.
Okay. Once people understand this, so they kind of know.
But the sad thing is, throughout the years, the communist China has been expanding, and they have been taking the countries that have diplomacy with the Republic of China away from them, from Taiwan. Let me make it easier. The communist China has been taking away the countries that have foreign exchange, right? From Taiwan. They've been stealing friends from Taiwan, and Taiwan has been castrated. in the international arena has been kind of stripped off the power, and we see that in the past maybe 20 something years that in the Olympic Games, right? We don't see Taiwan. We don't see Taiwan flag. We don't see the Taiwan team. They are called Chinese Taipei. They're called Chinese Taipei.
Or China Taipei.
Or they're called by the capital. They're not called by the whole land, the whole land, the whole
country.
island.
Yeah.
They're not identified by by any. They're not. They're okay. So after 1997, America making friends with the communist China, for some reason.
79.
Right, in 1979. For some reason, and the China is expanding and the Taiwan is shrinking. For some reason, Republic of China, they are willing to take over the name of Taiwan, which they shouldn't have been.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
And because let's say China, right? They both claim themselves China, and the mainland Chinese, the official name is the People's Republic of China, which is actually a copy from the name Republic of China. So this name is at the same level, and then if Taiwan is called Taiwan, then China should be called mainland to be even. You know, to Taiwan, it's location, right? It's like saying Alaska,
Island,
California, Hawaii, stuff like that. To like you naming a place. So Taiwan is actually the name of the island versus mainland is a big piece of land that is today's China. But so they are taking, so they're like, okay, they take the name Taiwan throughout the years. That's why they are called Taiwan now. It's
called Taiwanese.
Right. That's why they're called Taiwanese.
Yeah, that's what is Taiwanese.
Yes.
And then as year goes by, and people get used to the name.
Right. To
distinguish.
To prevent from confusion,
Yeah,
right?
prevent confusion.
So they call themselves Taiwan and Taiwanese, and they continue to use the word China and Chinese for themselves.
Yeah.
So we are okay at this.
Yeah, but so now kind of a little background, right? But someone, Joe just came in.
Yeah.
We didn't know. So
just stick with us. We'll tell you the whole story.
Yeah.
We'll tell you who that guy is.
Yeah, that guy. His name is David Charles, 68, from Las Vegas. Drive all the way to Orange County and shoot people, and kill one and wound 5 in the church, Taiwanese church. So stick around. So we will keep going.
Yeah.
More explanation.
This person, David Cho, he is born in Taiwan.
Yeah, he's
in the year of 1953. His parents, the materials we have saying that his parents immigrated from mainland to Taiwan in 1949, which is very typical because that's when the communists, took over, right?
Yeah,
took over. They established
took over mainland
there, and many people left the mainland to Taiwan. There are the Kuomintang, Kuomintang, KMT is the because after the civil war within China between Kuomintang and the communists won, and the Kuomintang retreated to the Thailand island. So the gunman's parents probably are part of the Kuomintang or their military, and Cho was born in Taiwan, and he went to a Kuomintang school. He was very good. He got a scholarship to study abroad in America, and that's how he came to America.
Yeah, and after he came here, then we don't know, somehow something triggered him to become a member of the National Association for China's Peaceful Unification. And why is it China want to unify?
So before that, we can fill people more in about Cho. He came here. He studied in the hotel, hospitality, and restaurant management, and he had quite a few degrees. I think on his business card he has 4 degrees or certification, and he has been teaching in colleges and schools and training schools in Taiwan and in America. In Taiwan for a long time. At least one account say he has taught in Taiwan for 18 years, as long as 18 years. After he came to US and then finished his study, he went back to Taiwan and to teach. So, another account, many accounts has been saying that he is living alone now in Las Vegas, Nevada, and his wife, and he has a child. Don't know the gender of the child, but the wife and the child has left him probably at the verge of 2012, and they moved back to Taiwan, and they haven't seen the father since. And police says notes and electronic materials has been found on Cho's car that he hated the Taiwanese. He hated the people who is pro Taiwan independence. We'll explain that in later what's that about. But he was, when he lived in Taiwan, he was not well received, and it's probably hate that he has that contribute to the shooting on Sunday. And so in Taiwan there are mainly two big groups of ideologies. Is pro unification, meaning unifying with the mainland China,
the communist China.
Actually we don't go that specific, because unification to this group under this umbrella, they have different interpretation of the what's called unification. Some are willing to unify through democracy, some through communists, some through other means. So pro unification,
yeah.
And the other ones is pro independence. But we want to emphasize the point. It's not independence from China. Independence meaning separation, pro separation from China, because Taiwan is actually older. It's an older China.
It's original.
It has 110 or 111.
110 soon.
Oh, okay. 110 years of
ruling.
Of
history. So 110. So
this
it's much longer.
regime is 110 years old, and the communist China is only established from 1949, which is like 73.
Yeah, 73.
Only 73.
Yeah.
So when we say Taiwan
73.
independence, it doesn't mean independence from China, mainland China, because the communists has never ruled the people
in Taiwan.
They never ruled that land. They never ruled those people.
Yeah.
So for us to, it's very important for us to clarify this, because the Chinese have been spreading propaganda that Taiwan is part of them. Taiwan is part of China. Therefore, Taiwan is part of the communist China. Mm-hmm. So we want to say that Taiwan is part of China, but not communist China. That's why we want to stay very clear. The independence is a separation.
Yeah, and especially nowadays when we talk about China, we talk about communist China, and then that's why a lot of people, they don't want to have us affiliated with the communists. So it's kind of like they want to separate themselves from China.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Cho is pro unification.
Yeah, many Chos are, especially from CCP, is of course they're from CCP. They want unify.
A lot of CCP. So throughout the years, many communists, many people from mainland has immigrated to Taiwan for more freedom, for freedom of speech, freedom of
for opportunity and for freedom.
Right.
Yeah,
And
many people
ownership of properties and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because people who own stuff in China,
right.
One day they know they're going to be confiscated.
Right. Anything you own in China are not yours.
Yeah.
Okay. If you hold it today, you only hold it because
they belong to
today.
the party. Yeah.
Yeah.
They belong to the party. So this is China. This is how it is. This is how it works.
But the people who have emigrated to Taiwan has been used by the communists to spread the expansion, to spread the goodness, the power, the expansion of mainland China, to spread their ideologies for many years. So the people from Taiwan has been kind of there are a lot of infiltration. There are a lot of propaganda. There's a lot of publicity in any form, right? Like they say, we're friends with you. The communists are your friends. We're your relatives. We're your family. We love you. So don't scare us. We will treat you well. Something like that. So throughout the years, they've been bombarded, right? Bombarded with these quote unquote friendly messages, but many Taiwanese know better. And nowadays with Xi Jinping ruling that they have all these military jets flying over to harass the Taiwan people. So we needless to explain, you know the rest.
Yeah, and at some point, I think it's 2019, April of 2019, the National Association for China Peaceful Unification, abbreviated NACPU, has a chapter, branch in Las Vegas.
Yeah, before that they have different chapters in different parts of America and the world.
And the world too. They have a huge. This is a huge organization.
So they're already in
infiltrated
the
different
west
parts.
and east coast, the main city, the main
All
big
the main
cities
city,
of all over the world.
Yep.
Yeah, in Hong Kong and Taiwan, everywhere
Australia,
yeah, you name
Singapore,
it, Japan.
yeah.
And what's that group called again?
The National Association for China's Peaceful Unification.
So NACPU. So 2019, April 3rd, they opened a new chapter in Las Vegas, and David Cho is one of the founding members.
Yeah, he's a founding member there. So he's pro-unification, and even though he's Taiwanese, and he follow what the CCP tell him.
Yeah.
Kind of like the literature, the education, the propaganda.
It's very receptive of the messages of communist messages.
Yeah, all the message
on
from CCP
taking over, or they say unifying with Taiwan.
Yeah, and this organization, the National Association for China's Peaceful Unification, has been named by former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. He designated it is kind of the designation. The press statement is designation of the National Association for China's Peaceful Unification as a foreign mission of the PRC. So it's an organization from foreign.
So Pompeo has already called him out.
They already called him out.
October 2020.
Yeah, and this is something.
We feel that this is very important to explain this in English and Chinese perspective.
Yeah.
So that's why we
have in English.
Yeah, but with
Chinese
perspective.
Yeah, Chinese perspective. Yeah, and we also want the country, our country, or the world, to know that there's an organization infiltrated in their society.
Right.
The name.
Right.
Of NACPU,
right,
is a big name, and then underneath they have maybe like thousands of.
Oh, you know what?
Group.
They're all over Facebook. A lot of
a small group.
They're okay. So you may not find NACPU. I don't know. I haven't looked, but NACPU in Chinese, that is 中国和平统一促进会. So it's the Mandarin of the NACPU. If you type those in Facebook, it's all over. You have different groups. You have like Taiwan NACPU, Australia NACPU, just like you said, Hong Kong NACPU, anywhere. So it's very scary because you go inside. There are these accounts, all these accounts with just a picture. You don't see their faces. You don't know if their names are real. They all say that they are Taiwanese and looking for reunification with communist China, right? They're pretending that they're local Taiwan, right? They're orchestrating this kind of like a consensus, they orchestrated artificial consensus, a fake impression of Taiwan as wanting to reunify with the communist China.
And this Mike Pompeo called this one out.
Yes.
So the world, especially for United States, because she's the Secretary of State.
Right. This is for our people in America.
America.
Right.
Realize that there's a CCP regards their party's apparatus as a magic weapon to advance. It's for advance Beijing's policy. It's spread and influence propaganda overseas.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So this organization We have another term for it. We call cult.
Oh, it's kind of cultish, although it's,
It's
not
cultish.
faith or religious based. It's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
not.
cultish.
It's kind of cultish. It's not faith, religious based. But it's political.
Right, right, right. It's spreading. To us,
Spreading.
it's a lie, but it's spreading a very unviable ideology. Right? It's spreading a lie that people who are
Basically-
free, Taiwanese are free people.
Yeah.
That they look for ruling of the communists.
Yeah, they're
right.
willing to go back to join communists. It's ridiculous.
We know it's not true because whenever there's immigration, most of the time, over 90% of the time, when couples from mainland and the Taiwan get married, they always move to Taiwan 90% of the time, unless the person in mainland is very powerful and very super rich. Then the Taiwanese might want to marry there for a time, right? They're just thinking to live there for maybe 10, 20 years. Then they will retire in Taiwan. So it's always marrying to Taiwan or immigrating to Taiwan.
Yeah. So after we realized this organization, and we also notice he is the member for this organization.
Right, right.
During 2019, after the 2019, after the Las Vegas branch opened.
Right.
So there's a lot of 推論啊。
It is fair to say.
Projection, or fair to say.
It is fair to say.
He got his brainwashed for sure.
So he has been a professor from during the 90s. From one account says he was teaching in Fujian College, Fujian 书院, Fujian 大学, Fujian University from the year of 1992 to 2010, which is a pretty long time, like 18 years, good 18 years. And then back then they don't do Zoom or like telecom stuff like that.
So in-person class.
Yeah, so yeah, they didn't have the Wu flu, they didn't have the Wuhan virus, right?
Yeah.
So so he was a professor, and then he started to invest in buying real estate, realty, right? Real estate, buying real estate from Las Vegas, and starting from 2009. So
2009.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he had owned
12 apartments.
12 apartments, 12
rental unit.
or
Rentable
or
unit.
12 properties.
Yeah, 12 property.
Yeah,
Yes.
many of them are apartments.
Okay.
So he was a owner of 12 properties, and but there's one account that in 2012, when he was receiving rent from
Tenant.
from probably a Spanish-speaking couple, the news says it's
got one.
a Spanish-speaking couple, so we don't know which area they're from, but they speak
Yeah.
Spanish. And he was robbed. He was
beat.
hurt.
Yeah.
He was stabbed
stabbed
from the
and-
back,
stabbed and
and
beaten.
to his passing out.
Yeah.
He was in coma,
Yeah.
and one of his ears is permanently damaged. So
And he lost the tuition for his son.
and when the money was robbed, it was about 4,900. And when he learned that at the hospital bed that his money was robbed from a police, he was suspecting the police was
Took his money. Yeah.
Yes, and then many of the people who know him says his temperament has changed a great deal since that incident, and he became very weird. He very grouchy, not very friendly. He used to be a very friendly person before that point, but after the incident, after his coma, he kind of get violent. And there's one account, and he started to sell his property, all his property
Sell
off.
his property.
And probably
At one point become homeless too, right?
yeah, there are many few accounts saying that he sold all his properties. He slept on the car, and there's one account saying that it might be his last home might be sold by his wife. That's why he was homeless. But there's only one account of that. But a few says he sold off all his property and sleep in a car. And then and then he start how to say that, not playing, but firearms.
Yeah. He started using
Firearms. He started using firearm, and one time he was firing in his apartment, and he got kicked out.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he became homeless.
Yeah, but maybe that time after that, then he sleep in his car, and stuff.
And his wife and child probably left him
yeah.
at that point.
Yeah, maybe.
And
possible.
and then they moved to Taiwan and lived there, and they haven't seen each other since.
Yeah, and we don't have any information from his wife or from his kid.
Not yet. The FBI probably is talking to them now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. They are doing some background work already.
Yeah.
And then in 2019 he joined this. It's kind of like this. When this kind of person is with the anger, with bitterness, right?
Yeah.
It's very, very easy to be manipulated.
Oh, also he has taught in 3 to 4 colleges or training schools. He was called professor.
Yeah, he was professor.
And he has written a book in the 80s and 90s.
3 books.
3 books?
Yeah, 3 books about wine
on
cocktail mixing or something.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Cocktail books.
Okay.
Yeah. So he
Bartending.
Bartending. Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
book is called Chinese Bartending Bible.
Yeah.
So 3 books among one is called Chinese Bartending Bible. So he has he has a pride of himself.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of established.
Yeah.
At least he has taught in a few colleges, and he had taught a very long time in one school, and he has written 3 books. He's been respected. He is somehow established, right? And he had a time owned so many properties, right? He was well off at a point.
Yep.
And before he was hurt and caused coma, he planned to retire,
just retire
as a
landlord.
right. But
unfortunately,
after, right.
Yeah, a lot of things happened, and okay, this is the thing. When we are at the fragile point,
right,
it's very easy to being manipulated or being take advantage of.
Right, truly.
Yeah.
So persuaded.
Yeah. So probably at that moment,
right,
at a certain time,
right.
This group of people. So you got to watch out. You know, they may not. You know, those from the National Association for China's Peaceful Unification, the CCP. They infiltrated in our community, and they are working on finding those kind of targets.
Oh yeah.
Do we call it prey? Yeah. We call prey, right?
Prey.
Yeah, we call prey.
Prey.
The CCP is looking for those.
So when this case has been erupted, many people was looking up this group, the NACPU. From Las Vegas, and they found these opening dinner photographs.
Oh, yeah.
And they know that they started in the beginning of 2019 April, and the people who are the officials, the president, the vice, the founding members there, and Joe was called a professor, right? Like when you have someone like that who's been who is a long-term professor, that group looks very good.
Yep.
To have a founding founding board member, to have that status, to have that credential, it makes the group look good. And he was well respected within the Las Vegas NACPU. Oh, you know what? We forgot to say in this statement, the destination of NACPU from Pompeo, he was comparing NACPU with Confucius Institute.
Yeah, and we know how the infiltration of the Confucius Institute in U.S. So,
right.
Yeah, so Mike Pompeo tried to bring it out awareness,
right,
to let people know about this organization. The National Association for China Peaceful Unification has a website in China and has an organization, official organization in China, and the chairman is Wang Ye.
Oh yeah. Is that the political committee?
The political
Chinese
committee.
Communist.
Yeah, the Chinese Communist.
Yes, meaning the central organization, the top organization of
The top guy.
yeah.
Top
Like, only below the top
seven,
seven, only
yeah.
below Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
So
They are the decision maker. Yeah.
so the NACPU all over the world are under
one of them.
the
Wang Yang.
political committee
Yeah. So
of CCP.
So we know, so Pompeo is right. Pompeo already bring out awareness to let people know about this organization, and this organization has an office in Washington D.C.
Okay.
Yeah, and then people can go to nacpu.org, and then you can find out a lot of stuff, a lot of lies, a lot of propaganda.
Right.
What are they doing? They try to, what happened in this kind of thing. It's not really unifying us. It's dividing us, making us more separate.
Right. Dividing.
So
right.
I've been saying many times. Of course, they want to be using the peaceful way.
Oh, well, when they
unify.
say peaceful, right? The word peaceful, the National Association for China's Peaceful Unification, meaning that they take over Taiwan without resistance, namely military resistance.
Yep.
That's what they mean peaceful. It doesn't mean that they will respect you.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they care about Taiwan people, what they think.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that they will have democracy. It doesn't mean that there will be, discussion of any sort.
Yep.
So that's what they mean by peaceful.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Huh.
We go on.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
My
you for
friends come
watching.
to say hi. Yeah, we feel that it's very important
Yeah,
to
we
talk
need-
about this in
yeah.
English and in Chinese perspective, so we do this in English.
Yeah, we do this in
Yes.
purposely in English.
Yes,
So
purposely in English,
So
actually.
we want the people in America or people in the world or English speaking, they know what's going on, and I really need people to know about this specific
The specifics.
organization.
Yeah,
NACPU.
the NACPU.
If more people to review them out,
To expose them.
to expose them,
Right.
and they will have less chance of infiltrate.
Right.
Now they have small cell group
Right.
infiltrate in different
Right.
area. So anyone who got affiliated
Right.
with all those groups, and we know that they are dangerous.
I can tell you what
They're dangerous.
I see when I was in those groups. I added to a few of these groups because I want to check out what they post. So they are all Chinese propaganda, right? They're like they have short videos like young people saying oh, Chinese is it's a very modern place. Many first world cities does not even have the technologies that the Chinese cities have. And they would say something like the Liberation Army, right? We don't see them anything liberating, but they call themselves the Liberation Army, the People's Liberation Army, the PLA, the Communist armies. They have these. They're showing their tanks and the militaries, the jets, right?
Yeah.
And the comments below are like, hail China,
Hail China, CCP.
communist forever, something
Yeah,
like that.
something
Like,
like that,
we
yeah.
Taiwanese love you, something like we can't wait for
Those are trolls.
we can't wait for the
United-
family from the
well,
other
the
side to
family, yeah,
reunify,
unified
right?
family.
Something
Yeah,
like
they like
that.
to
It's
say
very scary, very scary. Like there is no way in a proper functioning mind would say stuff like that. So they're pretending that they are Taiwanese. They're pretending that they are people Chinese who have emigrated outside of Chinese, agreeing the communist values.
Yep. They're enjoying the freedom, and they're enjoying the freedom while they are agreeing the CCP with dream. And regarding about DPP and KMT, the issue is very complicated, and also I have no vote. I have no vote in Taiwan, so I'm a kind of like bystander, a spectator. And,
Right.
Yeah. So my philosophy is the people in Taiwan should decide for themselves.
Right, I agree.
They should fight for whatever they believe is right for them and for their own for their future generation.
Correct. I agree.
This is how they're supposed to fight. Doesn't matter what. And just like us, we got suppression by Democrats, right?
Right. In America, of
From
course.
the left,
Right.
the liberals, and Hey,
the liberals, okay?
Yeah, the liberals.
nothing liberal, nothing liberal,
Yeah,
nothing liberating, nothing,
yeah.
nothing
And they
about freedom.
and we continue to fight here
Yeah.
to make sure that, our future generation can still have the America.
Well, we kind of
So-
commenting on from the perspective of Hong Kong Americans, right?
Yeah.
So the whether KMT or DPP, it's not for us to decide. It's
Yep.
for the voters in Taiwan to decide.
Yep.
But we definitely are anti-CCP. We
Yep.
can tell you this.
We definitely
We're
anti-CCP. The reason?
anti any influence from CCP to Taiwan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why
And
we're anti.
we will expose them. We'll yeah.
Yeah, because they are hurting people, hurting Chinese, hurting the world. Okay, and for what is it? Unified mainland China and Taiwan? No, I'm not.
No. They're saying that
The main theme for
okay. They're
Yeah, that
spreading
is-
hate America.
Yeah.
The motto, right? They're
Yeah,
spreading
they-
hate
yeah, they're
America
spreading all those.
for them to the chant for to bring the mainlanders and the Taiwanese together. They're using the hate America
As a-
chant
yeah.
to
That's what the
to
troll
say
use it,
messages
yeah.
to say messages to kind of like strengthen the ties between the mainlanders and the
And we
Taiwanese.
do hope the people get because they're not everyone follow the Chinese news or follow Chinese culture just like us. I'm not really following the Latino community. Like South America, what's happening? I'm not following that much, right? So same thing. A lot of people they don't follow Asia news. So they may not know really what's going on. So we try to simplify as simple as possible to explain. This is two countries because this country has their own military, has their own money, has their own government, has their own president. The people in Taiwan they vote for their own leader. Versus this one, they only rule by.
There are people who can't even vote for their leader, right?
Yeah, so-
these people, these quote unquote, 1.4 billion.
Yeah.
We doubt the number. Okay.
And they don't even get to vote for their leaders.
Totally, man,
Yeah,
totally.
and this is a country where they have own money, or they have their own technology, advanced technology.
Right.
And the chips, right? And
They have freedom of speech, freedom of press,
freedom of press.
and
Just like us.
they have freedom to education and knowledges.
Yep.
They don't have censored internet.
Yeah, they don't have
Etc.
yeah.
Etc. Everything same
Same as
what's-
America.
Well, maybe better in many cases.
Yeah,
maybe better.
compared to
Yeah,
this.
they don't get shut off by Facebook, right?
Yeah.
At least the
Yeah.
Taiwanese don't get shut off
Oh
by
yeah, the
Facebook
Taiwanese
and
the Taiwanese
YouTube
can
and
use
Twitter.
Facebook.
Right,
And this one,
right.
they don't even get to use Facebook. They have to know what the firewall stuff. They need that in general. Regular people, if they don't know much about over the firewall or VPN, using VPN,
yeah, they're not
they don't-
supposed to
they-
use.
Here they're not supposed to use
They're
VPN.
not supposed to use
VPN.
any social media outside China.
Yep. So this is the real China, original China. So that's why we try to explain to people, and hopefully more people can start recognize this flag. That's why my shirt. A lot of time you will see I have wearing shirts with this symbol. Okay, this flag. So this is what we're trying to do, and we also hopefully letting people know the how dirty the CCP is. I'm not saying this guy is he's not guilty. He is guilty because he took the action.
Well,
right?
yeah.
He took the
Right,
action.
right.
But I would say CCP will use anyone who is fragile. Okay, and
Vulnerable.
vulnerable. But also, of course, this guy is also a lot of bitterness.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
So all this combined.
Yes.
And
Grudges,
become-
mental issue, and political influence are at play in here. When we say he has mental issue, he's been hurt something. We're not downplaying his. We're not downplaying his sin per se. His crime.
His crime. Yeah.
We're not downplaying his crime.
No.
We're not paying sympathy to him. That's not.
No,
we're just
I
trying
don't-
to
I don't give
explain.
sympathy.
We're just trying to explain how this occurred. Right at the point of its occurrence, like what was
Trigger.
right, what was contributing.
What contributing? One of the contributor is the CCP.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
If anyone who is fragile, who is vulnerable, CCP will, the small cell.
Well-
they will start talking to you.
We can
and
say
try
more
to,
about the
get-
CCP influence here
yeah.
in this.
For sure, it's influence because it's not. I didn't say it. Mike Pompeo.
Right,
also
yeah.
In the statement
Partly
too.
because he's a member of the NACPU, but also there are other telltale signs, right? A lot of the accounts saying that he was not well received when he lived in Taiwan as youth. So for people who are like that, not welcomed by his own people or been kind of avoided by his own people, he will himself develop something that's different,
Opposite.
right? To prove that he is right, and he is a smart man. He's a very smart man. He earned scholarship from his secondary school to be able to study abroad in America for free, and he had many credentials. He taught in colleges. He has also a Nevada license of
Private
private investigation, right? And the license still hasn't expired until 2026. So his private investigation license is still active. Yeah.
And he's a security guard.
Yes.
He works as a security guard in Nevada.
Before
he came
before
over.
the crime.
Yeah.
Yes. He.
So now.
So and then he lived in Nevada. Why he committed a crime in Orange County,
Yeah,
the
this is
South.
the next question.
So he started driving. One account says that he started driving on the 15th, which Sunday. The gunshot. Dr. Chen passed away at around 1:30. At the gunshot.
Okay.
So what was happening was it was a church lunch scenario. They were welcoming Pastor Reverend Billy Chang came back to America from Taiwan after after the release of the unlockdown.
Mm-hmm.
So the people from Taiwan are able to fly here, and Reverend Billy Chang came here and visit, and Billy Zhang was their former pastor, and that was May 15 Sunday. They were having lunch to celebrate that,
Yeah.
to celebrate Pastor Billy Chang. And the gunman, it was said on many accounts, says that the gunman did attend the morning service, and the usher asked him. Many accounts says that the ushers, the people who were greeting at the door, did ask him, say,
Welcome.
"Oh, welcome for
newcomer."
coming for the first time."
Yeah.
And the police even says that Cho answered with, "I've been here 2-3 times. This is not my first time." So he and then the police also said that the usher recognized his accent is same as
Taiwanese,
theirs.
yeah.
So
Taiwanese
they
accent.
did not have any, they are not guard up
Yeah.
for Cho, and thought nothing
yeah.
would happen. He attended the morning service, and then he also joined, and when the service was over, when the people were starting to have lunch, and people were going in groups to taking pictures with
Pastor Lee.
the Pastor Zhang,
Pastor Zhang.
Pastor Zhang or Pastor Chang.
Yeah.
And this is when the
He's
gunman Cho was
stuck.
locking the door, chained up the door,
Chain up the door too. Yeah.
chained up the door, and used super glue to
Glue the
glue
lock.
the lock hole
Yeah.
to
So nobody can get out.
and start gunning the people,
Yep.
start shooting people.
And
So
then is after the first shot, Dr. John Chan tried to stop him,
so Dr. John Chang was rushing to him
rushing to him to try to stop him.
right.
Yeah, and then got
Shot 3 times.
Shot 3 times on the
Right,
chest.
right.
And he got to pass away.
Yeah.
And he is our real hero because in those kind of situation, most people just duck, right? But he charged to the gunman.
True.
Because if not, he didn't do that.
Right.
More people will get shot.
Right, because there are Molotovs. There are 2 to 4 more Molotovs found on his car, on Cho's car, and more ammos found
more
on
ammo with him.
Cho's car. And
2 guns. He
what
has 2
was
guns.
to right, and on show there are 2 guns and 1 knife.
Yeah.
And we're all wondering that why he chained up the door, right?
Yeah, probably he want to kill everyone.
He probably want to kill everybody
Yeah,
inside.
yep.
And so one account saying that the Molotovs, he might be rimming the church. He might plan to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that this is premeditated.
Yeah,
This is planned out,
sure.
and it's a mass killing.
Yep.
There is one theory saying that why he commit this heinous crime all the way in the Orange County is because the Chinese churches in Nevada area are pro Beijing.
Oh.
Although they have many Taiwanese people, but they're pro unification and pro Beijing, and so.
So there's no reason for him to kill.
Right,
over
right,
there.
right. It's
Nevada.
communists don't kill the people who promote their ideologies.
Yeah.
They may not.
Not yet.
they may not. They may not have mercy for their own people, but they definitely have mercy for people who promote the same ideologies.
Yeah.
Not promote, but to forward their ideologies. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
So these are useful people, so to
Yeah,
speak. They
yeah,
won't
they're
kill
useful,
useful
yeah.
people.
Yes.
We just
Yeah.
So
it is the pretty strong. It's a political reason.
What else? There are more actually.
Yeah. And we know, since we know this kind of act and this kind of brainwash among our community, Chinese community, right? So we got to be more aware our surrounding, aware, right? We got to start being aware.
The church, this church in Irvine, this church in Laguna Woods, Irvine, Orange County, the Irvine Taiwanese Presbyterian Church, they speak a Taiwanese language, not the Mandarin, not the typical Mandarin or Putonghua. We know it. For service, they speak the local Taiwanese language.
Yeah.
For service, so it's another signal to say that they are very Taiwanese, local Taiwan oriented versus the unification versus taught pro unifying with China.
If they are more pro unification, they probably speak Mandarin, right?
They probably speak Mandarin because they will absorb more people outside Taiwan.
Yep.
Namely mainland, right?
Yep. Yeah. So people who speak Taiwanese service,
right?
The service speak Taiwanese. So they are more their own group of people, right? And that's what he don't like. That is maybe something he triggered him.
Well, it feels like he wants to punish people who are not who disagree with him.
Yep.
Who doesn't carry the same ideologies as him.
Yeah. So very dangerous. Very dangerous.
He is very
but this
disgruntled.
Okay, this kind of thing, we got to know. This kind of thing is happening. The brainwashing I call brainwashing is among in our community.
We haven't said that he is a very avid, right? He was a founding members of NACPU Las Vegas. At the same time, he is very avid. Advocator of the pro unification. He is like the front for to promote that message.
To promote that. Yeah. So kind of like preaching.
Yeah.
But he's like kind of like preaching the unification to everyone. But people know, normal people know there's evil in CCP. If you want unification, unify under this flag. Unify under this flag. Then that is normal unification.
Another reason why we think this is politically charged, this is a little outside, right? You have to see it from the outside to know it. This is firstly, this is very consistent with the action that we see from CCP in the past year or so, with the military jets harassing harassing Taiwan,
Taiwan.
it's been probably over 200, 300 times. If not, if I don't quote me, okay? If three-digit times of military jets harassing Taiwan, which is very awful lot, right? It may sound scary, but over time, you know, they say we're gonna raise a war against you. We're gonna raise a war against you after 100 times, 200 times. People from Taiwan and all over the world start getting desensitized by the repeated harassment, and it's the message start to get weak. And we know that Xi Jinping is not ready to really start a war, military war,
On Taiwan.
with the PLA
Yeah.
upon Taiwan. But he wants to.
So some string.
He wants to
some
keep the
muscle.
scare, right?
Yeah, keep them
How
scared.
to keep the scare
Keep them
without
scared.
without
Showing their weakness.
without the PLA.
Yeah, without
You know,
the PLA showing their
but
weakness. Showing their
the
bold-
military jets is kind of overdone already.
Yeah.
So this is very consistent. We see with what they do to Taiwan in the past year, you know, with the jets harassment, with the trolls, with the
yeah.
different groups, with what they do to Hong Kong, with what they do to the Xinjiang and the Tibetans, the Uyghurs. And recently they have a hit job done against a very prominent Chinese dissident lawyer in New York.
Oh, yeah.
At the verge of February, May,
Yeah.
I mean March.
Yeah.
Li Jingjing, the death of Li Jingjing, lawyer Li Jingjing.
The lawyer who helped a lot of Chinese what's that called?
Dissidents.
Yeah, dissident.
He
to-
was one of the leaders of the June 4th movement in,
Yeah, yeah,
in
one of the
1986.
leaders.
He 89. I mean 1989. He was one of the student leaders.
Yep.
And later he came to America. He became a
Become a
lawyer.
lawyer.
He was a law student back then when he was in Beijing, and he came to New York and became a lawyer and helped out a lot of dissidents. Legal help and stuff like that.
Yep.
So one of the client or to be client named Jiang Xiaoning, 25-year-old young woman, killed Li Jingjing in his office at the verge of this February and March. And this is a hit job because she was playing a mental woman. She killed Li Jingjing like in very fast moves. Like he stabbed him at his neck, at the artery, and one more at the stomach.
So it's
just
trained.
2 steps.
Yep. So it's trained.
So,
So it's trained it. Yeah.
and then he, after she did it, she didn't run. She threw the knife and she laughed hysterically.
Yep.
And spat saliva upon Li Jingjing. And when she came out from the NYPD, the journalist asked, "Have you regretted killing Li Jingjing?" She said, "It is the something.
It's the
like-
people's fault. You guys divide China.
Something
You
like
guys-
that. Yeah.
You guys are separating China.
Well, she was blaming.
The student.
You are continue brainwashing the students, meaning you are continue to. She's accusing the people who oppose CCP. Are brainwashing the young ones and helping the young ones leaving China. She was accusing. The fault doers are you, not me. What she was trying to say is this: not me who did wrong. It's you.
Yep. Yeah.
You're
It's-
continue to poison. She used the word.
Yeah.
Poisoning the young ones.
double talker. Yes, CCP is a double talker.
So
Yeah.
so we know that she was sent to do this hit job. She was sent to Li Jingjing specifically because she has been she has been like finding chance to get near to Li Jingjing for a while before that happened. And when she was arrested, she finally said what she really believes is. She believes that people who are anti-CCP are the fault doers, are the wrongdoers, and that speaks a lot of her, the motive of her murdering Li Jingjing. So we know that if we observe the Chinese Communist politics throughout the years, they will send these hitmen to do jobs or send these trolls to say some lie. And when they are exposed, these people will say it is out of their personal interest to commit such acts.
Yep.
And immediately the Chinese communists will get off these doings will get off their backs.
Yep.
And
So the
and
crime,
needless to say that
crime will go back.
what Cho is done, of course, Cho would not say he is
Paid by the CCP,
he
operated by CCP. No, they're not going to say that.
he's ordered
Yeah,
by.
they're ordered
He's not
by,
going to say he's ordered,
Yeah.
right? He's not going to say he's ordered. And then there are proofs, right? There are materials in his car notes found that he has been hating Taiwan, something like that. We can pull out his history. Where has he been? What has he said? Stuff like that, and to put together a story that he has been having hate against his own people, Taiwanese. Although it's politically charged, but the CCP can get this off their back very easily,
yeah.
right? But we see this repeatedness. Repeatedness, the pattern within these crimes, and it's very similar to what they have been doing toward Taiwan as a country. The Taiwan people, the Taiwan athletes, the people in Hong Kong. It's very consistent.
Yep.
So
That's the way they do things.
so we'll say this case is politically charged.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Well, thank you for your time. I think
We
yeah.
have
I think we have
an hour and 17 minutes.
I
now.
think we explained it enough, right? Hopefully, people could understand a little bit more about this case and a little bit more about knowing more about this flag is communism, okay? And this is the real China, okay?
Yeah.
And if they want to unify China, unify under this flag, okay?
So
Okay,
let's see,
so-
a little few more is although Cho is Taiwanese and the church, the people who were injured, the targeted group is Taiwanese, it is politically charged. This is still a hate crime. And then there are Chinese communist propaganda saying that this is merely a mental issue matter. What they're trying to say is it has nothing to do with politics. So when we say it involves mental issue, we have accusations against us to downplay the crime of the communists. We want to say that there are different things at play: vendetta, mental issue, political reasons are all at play here. There might be more. When the days coming, we may find out. But we're not saying it is one or the other, or we're not definitely we're not denying.
Anyone.
China's role here.
Yeah, the
communist
CCP has
role here.
CCP has a main role here. I would say.
Right, because you don't kill people who don't agree with you politically,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And it's a premeditated mass murder.
Yep, well premeditated.
He is well equipped.
Yep.
2 guns, 1 knife, a few Molotovs, and a lot of ammo.
Yep.
Notes, we don't know if the notes about hating Taiwanese are real, his personal notes, or orchestrated proof. We have yet to find out.
For sure, the National Association for China's Peaceful Unification need to answer a lot of questions from FBI.
Former Vice President of Taiwan, Liu Xiulian,
Okay.
is charging the NACPU to answer.
Oh, okay. Oh,
To
she did say
answer,
something?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
to charge.
Okay. To answer the question.
to-
and to answer explaining, why is it your member doing this?
To charge mainland China why, if it has anything to do with NACPU order, right? Or did you have anything to do with this?
Yeah. So
So-
they have a lot of questions. Yeah, a lot of the memo, right?
Right, yeah.
Or lecture, right? The lecture or video, if they recorded their lecture or their meeting, all those, the FBI has to do something. The FBI has to go to court, ask for a search warrant.
Warrant.
Yeah, search warrant, to check out this the Las Vegas, especially for the Las Vegas location. Yeah. So
Okay.
probably, yeah, I think maybe there's already in process. So that I'm not. I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
And because the FBI already know the infiltration of the CCP, hiring hitman to attack many people here. So FBI already following up all these cases.
Many of the Chinese dissidents, who escaped from China, they've been harassed and attacked even in different levels, right?
Physical attack.
They've been stabbed.
Yeah,
One were stabbed and under the
run
chin.
over.
Got hit by car.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 times.
Yeah.
And there is a writer, Epoch Time Writers. His car dash cam has recorded that there are big trucks who trying to
push his car over,
like repeatedly trying to go onto his lane, right?
Yeah.
Like causing
pushing him off
car
ramp.
accidents.
Yeah.
So not 1 time, not 2 times, but a few times, and on 2 different dates.
Yep.
So they've been following him, right? Because he was moving cross country. So many China dissidents from escape here from mainland has been harassed and attacked. Hired by gang. Recently, a lawyer, Mr. Zheng Chu, and his office. He has an office in
Another lawyer.
Diamond Bar
office got
recently,
robbed.
May 7th, right? So that's why we see a pattern here. We say that this Cho's case is also one of these hit jobs, because recently, May 7th. The lawyer here.
The lawyer who helped a lot of people.
He helped a lot. He was also. He also came after the June 4th, 1989 movement. He was also a student, right?
He was a student.
Not just him, but his colleagues. His
colleague.
Lawyers also are his colleagues in schools, and they came over here. They're colleagues in law.
They become lawyers. And they help out a lot of people.
They help out a lot of people to escape
from China.
And recently
his office got robbed.
His office got robbed. He also helped people
from
Hong Kong after the 2019 uproar. So recently, May 5th, his office got robbed. The computers, the laptops, the iPads are robbed.
All the digital information are stolen.
Yes, and it's all in recording. There are reports. The Epoch Time news articles, videos. Go check those out. And we are expecting to see Chinese Communist hit job in more frequent intensity. And
looks like more frequent too.
More different forms.
Yeah, different forms.
And they may appear in more forms.
Yeah, in different forms. So we just have to prepare ourselves. Yeah, that's what we're trying to say, right? Prepare ourselves, right?
Well, we be vigilant, be cautious, so that
cautious. Not paranoid, right?
Not paranoid. No.
Just cautious.
Don't be paranoid.
Yeah,
yes.
just cautious. Yeah.
And
don't be afraid.
Be cautious. Be cautious. Right.
There's nothing to scare.
Yeah.
Because they are just a whole bunch of cowards.
Yeah, make sure you're safe and report to the police.
Yeah, and report to the police.
Yes.
And help Dennis to do the campaign and share my video.
Yes.
And
we're helping Burton Brink here.
So
thank you for watching.
And help us share the video. And thank you for watching. And have a good night. Anything else?
And share, comment, like, subscribe, and spread it out. Tell people this message. Tell people a message. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye-bye.